Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. In preparation for Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, I wanted to make a video covering all the different Deviant gear. One, for those of you who have not made all the Deviant gear, to go through and tell you what they do. Also to show you what happens to that Deviant gear in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, because you can sort of plan out which ones you want to get up to level max. If you have Generations, this is a good time for the next few months until the game comes out to sort of, max out that gear. So when you go into Generations Ultimate, you'll be able to go straight into G rank and try to max that stuff out. First up, I want to give a shout out to the wonderful site Monster Hunter Double Cross Sobigazo. It's a wonderful site. I have a link in the description down below where they compile sort of visual images of all the different armor in the game, as well as have some really good commentary if you understand Japanese. So I got their permission to use their wonderful pictures so I can show you guys both what it looks like as a male character and female character in high resolution on the Switch version, so huge shout out to them. Okay, without further ado, let's jump in and look at all 18 Deviant sets. So the first one up, which is already on the screen, is the Red Helm Arzuros. This set gives Constitution+2 and Defense Up small, and it does come with a special set skill of Focus and Resentment. Resentment is that skill that gives you attack up large when you have red sort of damaged and your health bar. So if you take a hit and you get that red recovery part, your attack is going to be even higher. So very good for kind of reckless gameplay, and also even Brave style, because you do lose a little bit of health. So doing an immediate counterattack out of Brave, you will get that boost. G rank adds in levels 11 through 15 to level these scenes up, and if you get it to level 14 or 15, it sort of upgrades the skill. So Red Helm Soul becomes the true Red Helm Soul, and that will add in Marathon Runner to the overall set. Next up is one of my personal favorites, which is the Snow Baron Lagombi. This is an awesome set if you play aerial style, because it has Vault, which gives you 10% additional attack for your aerial attacks. Recovery Speed +2, so you can recover your health faster. And then the Soul Baron Soul gives you Evade Extender and Stamina Recovery Up. If you level this scene up at the G rank, you will add in Mounting Master as well, making this one of the best aerial sets in the game. And now my personal absolute favorite, which is the Stone Fist Hermitor. I really like the cheerleader design for the girl. We get Resuscitate and Bubbly Dance. Bubbly Dance, after you evade a few times, will put bubbles around your character, which will stay unless you get hit or hit by a roar. And while you have that on, it technically counts as a status ailment, triggering Resuscitate, which will give you attack up large. So Bubbly Dance gives you Constitution +1, Evasion +1, and while you have it on, you get the attack up large. Stone Fist Soul does give you Razor Sharp if you're a Blade Master, recoil down +2 if you are a gunner, as well as Divine Blessing, which sort of at a certain percentage will lessen the amount of damage you take if you get hit. And then when you level this thing up to G rank, you get Constitution +1. That, of course, stacks with the Bubbly Dance, so if you have bubbles around you, you'll have Evasion +1, Constitution +2, attack up large, and of course Divine Blessing and Razor Sharp. Very fun set, love the aesthetic. If you're running a status weapon, especially for Sword and Shield, the Dread Queen Rathian is an awesome set. Gives you status crit, which means when you do a critical attack, it raises the amount of status damage you do, and it gives you critical eye +2 out of the box. Dread Queen Soul gives you status attack +2 and wide range +2, and if you level the scene up to G rank, it gives you the higher version of the Herbalist one, which will highly increase the amount of recovery that you get for drinking an herb. Perfect set if you are using a status Sword and Shield, maybe a little bit limited outside of that, but really fun. Next up is the Drill Tusk Tetsukabra. Fun monster to hunt, gives guard +2 and weakness exploit. If you're playing a gunner though, you do get reload speed +2 instead. And its special solo one is Adrenaline +2, which greatly raises your attack power if you have low health, so this is kind of a risky set. Scavenger, which just makes it like a 33% chance that when you eat or drink an item that it raises your stamina. And if you do have the scene up to level 14, it does give you Artillery Expert, so a good set if you're using maybe Gun Lance or Lance, but in order to really utilize that Adrenaline +2, you have to be good at hunting with low health, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a very popular set or not. Speaking about popularity, this one is definitely going to be popular, which is the Silverwind Nargacuya set. Gives critical boost, which increases your critical attack, so instead of doing 25% more damage, they do 40% more damage when you land a crit. Gives you Evade Extender, so you can evade farther away, and its Soul one gives you Evasion +2 and Critical Eye +3. So out of the box, this thing is ridiculous. It does have lower defense as the other Deviant sets to kind of counterbalance all of that. And when you level up to G, because this thing was already so good, they just add in Sneak, so it doesn't really make it that much better, but still, overall, a very cool set. If you're into Gundam and stuff like that, you might like the Crystal Beard Uragan set. It looks ridiculous. This thing is a little weird. It gives you Trump Card, which is I might have to do a video on this skill. It has all sorts of different effects on your hunter arts to make them more powerful. Has great luck, so you can get better rewards at the end of the hunt. And it also gives you Charm Chaser, Negate Hunger, and its G-Rank version gives you the additional Hero's Talisman, which negates like really small attacks, whether it be something pesky or annoying, so it allows you to really get in there and really act like a tank. Next up is the Deadeye Yangaruga. This one does give you Guts, so you don't get one shot killed at least once during the hunt. Repeat Offender, which raises your affinity as you do consecutive attacks. And then Negate Stun and Challenger +2, so very good for something like Dual Blades or something that's really offensive. And if you level this thing up to level 14, it will add in Fortify, so if you do end up dying or carding, it will raise your attack and defense the next time you get up and get back into action. So great for aggressive type gameplay, and looks really goofy as well. And now for probably the most popular one, because this thing is just so all around good for every type of weapon, is the Dread King Rathalos. Thing comes with Weakness Exploit, High Grade Earplugs, and Attack Up Large and Windproof High. That's crazy. It works with like practically every weapon, which is why a lot of people made this set back in Generations. However, when you do get it up into G rank, all it does is add in Adrenaline +1. Sort of like the Silver Wind, these things were already really good to begin with, so, you know, it kind of makes sense that they would do that, but I kind of wish it was a better skill than Adrenaline. Next up is the Thunderlord Zinogre, one of the more, I think, fun monsters of the Deviants to hunt. Gives you Marathon Runner and Antivirus, which is sort of good if you're going up against a monster with the Frenzy, I guess. It also comes with Latent Power +2 and Constitution +2, so not exactly the best set in the game. If you do get it up to G rank though, at level 14 it will unlock Focus as well. I guess it might be kind of cool to sort of, you know, beat the G5 or the final version of the Thunderlord so that you can transmog its armor, because it does look really cool. Next up is Grimclaw Tigrex. This is another very popular one from Generations. Gives you Partbreaker, Critical Draw, High Grade Earplugs, and Speed Eating +2. So this is very good if you're using, I think, a Great Sword or something like that. If you get up to level 14, 15, it does unlock SP Extender, which just increases the duration of you being in SP or Style Power-Up mode. Honestly, you might find yourself with just enough tickets to make this armor, because its weapons are so good that I can see a lot of players doing a lot of Grimclaw Tigrexes so they can make its weapons. Okay, and rounding out the list with the last deviant from Monster Hunter Generations is the Hellblade Glavenus. This thing has heavy polish. This is called protective polish in Monster Hunter World, so basically you sharpen your weapon and for the next minute you don't lose any sharpness. If you are a gunner though, you can still use the whetstones and it actually increases your attack power by a little bit. And it also has Divine Blessing, Sharpness +2 if you're a Blade Master, or Shot Booster, which allows you to shoot from further away if you are a gunner, as well as Speed Sharpening. So definitely a focus set all around sharpening, so when you sharpen you won't lose stuff, you'll get more power, and so forth. For G rank at level 14, it does add in Bombardier as a skill, which is great because all the Hellblade weapons are some of the best blast status weapons in the game. So this just has really good synergy with its own weapon. So I definitely do see this one being popular, plus Hellblade is really fun to hunt. Okay, getting into the new deviants for Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, these ones are only available for G rank, so there's only 5 levels, G1 through 5. First one up is Nightcloak Malfestio. This thing comes with Sneak so that you're less noticed by monsters, which is funny considering how gaudy that outfit looks. Also Composed, which is a skill that increases the rate in which like your Brave, Alchemy, or Hunter Art gauges increase. And its special skill gives you High Grade Earplugs and Steady Hand, which is both Razor Sharp and Mind's Eye if you are a Blade Master, or if you're a Gunner you get Reload Speed +3. And at level 4 or 5, which is the final sort of G rank levels, you unlock also Trap Master for this set as well. So very interesting. Steady Hand is huge. I mean, Razor Sharp, Mind's Eye, High Grade Earplugs, those are really powerful. Sneak and Composed, maybe it will depend on how much you like those skills, but overall a pretty cool set for a pretty cool monster. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have the Crazy Rust Razor Senator. I think that's how you say it. This thing is really tough because it's got bleeding added to it. It's a pretty powerful monster. Comes with Guard Up, Razor Sharp if you're a Blade Master, or Pierce Shot Up if you are a Gunner. Guard +2, Quick Sheath, and then if you level it up to level 4, you also get Shining Blade. This is basically the Sedegios innate skill of its weapons put as an armor skill, and it does stack with Sedegios weapons as well. So after a few evades, you'll actually sharpen your weapon. If you're using bow, it'll increase your power a little bit. If you're using bowgun, you'll have a percentage chance after every evade to reload a bullet. So if you stack it with the Sedegios one, you get 2, and stuff like that, so it is pretty fun. But if you're using something that you want Guard +2 and Guard Up and Reserve Sharp, this is really a great set for something like Lance or Gun Lance in my opinion. Now going on to the new flagship deviants, we have the Soul Seer Mizutsune. This one is a little tough, so I'm going to have to describe it to you guys. First one, you do get Bubbly Dance, so after a few evades you will get the bubbles around you, which of course gives you Evasion +1 and Constitution +1. It also comes with Acrobat, which is Evasion +1 and Constitution +1. So what this means is that you always have both Evasion and Constitution, but when you have bubbles around you, they stack, and you get Evasion +2 and Constitution +2. Constitution is that skill that lowers the amount of stamina when you evade, making it very easy for you to roll around. This set also comes with Critical Eye +3 and Challenger +1. If you level it up to level 4, it does transform into Challenger +2. So Evasion 2, Constitution 2, Critical Eye 3, Challenger 2, that is pretty dope. Okay, next up is the Bolt Reaver Astalos. This has Repeat Offender, which is that skill that increases your affinity as you do consecutive attacks. Vault, so increases the power of your aerial attack, so good for aerial style. Also comes with Critical Boost, or bonus shot if you are a gunner, and Sharpness +1. If you level this thing up to level 4, it does give you On Alert, which is just a skill that increases your Hunter Art gauges, your Brave gauge, and your Alchemy gauge if you get hit from a monster. So I mean, I guess it's good if you have a weapon that only really needs Sharpness +1. It could be really good for aerial dual blades, something that hits often, maybe a weapon with already some positive affinity, but it does look really cool as well, so definitely worth making. Next up is Elder Frost Gammoth. This one comes with Focus, Stamina Recovery Speed Up, and then Elder Frost comes with Marathon Runner and Bludgeoner if you are a Blade Master, or Normal Rapid Up if you are a Gunner. And at G rank level 4, it gives you attack of medium. I don't know about this one because Bludgeoner is a skill that they never really scaled for G rank. It only stopped at sort of high rank in its sort of application. So it really is a throwaway skill. And the final deviant of the game is the Bloodbath Diablos, my favorite monster in all of Monster Hunter. It gives you the Rueful crit or reverse crit or whatever it's going to be called, I think. This is a skill so that if your weapon has minus affinity, meaning that you're going to do a negative crit attack, which is only 75% of your normal power, it has a 1 in 4th chance of then making that double damage. It's stupidly hard to calculate. So basically I would say if you're using a weapon that has minus 30% affinity, it's like transforming that overall to like a positive 7%. So it'll get rid of the negative affinity in the overall scheme of the hunt and even give it a small boost. If you're using a weapon with even more than minus 30 though, like minus 70% affinity, then this thing really comes in handy and can really buff the damage that you do. Resentment is that one, if you're taking damage or you have red on your gauge, you'll get attack up large. That does stack with the attack up large it already gives you, and evasion +2. And then at level 4, it gives you composed, which will increase the rate in which your brave, hunter arts, and your alchemy gauges increase. So it's an interesting set. It's different than a lot of other sets. The reverse or refull crit, that's going to depend really heavily on what weapon you use and how you use it. So it won't be for everybody, but Bloodbath is a really fun monster, so hopefully you're either going after it for its weapons or maybe its armor as well. So that's basically it. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below which set you find more attractive to make. Maybe you already imported the game, maybe you've already tried them out, so let me know which sets you guys are looking forward to most. And as always, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, happy hunting.